Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It's Thomas Ruse Bazar with the Pole Warriors. Okay, just got back from the classical music hall, and I want to share what I got, why I got, when I got, and all the rest. So, I have a store where I live. I mean, a few record stores, vinyl, but this one is a very well-known one. They have great deals. It's allowed me to build a collection over the last 3 years I've been here in this town. And it's affordable. Vinyl is affordable. You know, you take a risk, but you learn over time what to look for, you know, how to check the albums, see if there's any nicks, if it's beat up, if it's in good condition, if it's in very good condition, the sleeve, all that. So you never know, though. You're hoping that the engineering of that said album or that vinyl album, that recording is top notch, without all the hissing and the scratching and the bumps and the skipping. We don't need all that. But anyway, without further ado, my first one that I got, and this one was $3, and I'm doing a how should I say, a balancing act here. Left hand holding the camera steady as she goes, and this one, Seiji Ozawa, the Chicago Symphony, and Tchaikovsky Number 5, and Mussorgsky's A Night on Bald Mountain, made famous by that. It's already a famous piece, but it was made even more famous with that Disney thing, that Fantasia or whatever. And I think that was one of the pieces on that animated film, whatever that was. But this gentleman is one of my favorites. I don't think I have a copy. Sometimes, you know, I have lots of albums, and the collector and those serious collectors, they have a, what do you call it? You know, they have everything written about which, you know, what they have already purchased. What do you call that? Like a sheet where everything is there. Sometimes I can't think, guys. You have to forgive me. A catalog. There you go. An itemized catalog. I'm too lazy because that would take forever. But anyway, Seiji Ozawa, Chicago Symphony. I got one of his really top-notch Chicago Symphony Orchestra recordings of, what is that piece? One of the great pieces, The Rite of Spring, Le Sacre du Printemps, Stravinsky. And it was like the best, one of the best top 3. Desert Island. This is that one was a desert island. So I'm looking forward to hearing Ozawa, and he's one of my favorites. And I love his work. I love his conducting. He's one of my favorites. And anyway, that's that one. That's the first. This was a $3. Usually for me to spend $3, it's a big deal at a vinyl store. I know it's crazy. Unless it's something that, yeah, sometimes I spend more. You'll see. There's one here. This one. This is a box set of Dvorak Symphony 7, 8, 9 with the incomparable George Zell and the Cleveland Orchestra. This one, Dvorak's kind of tough to find, it seems like, on vinyl. I have a good amount, but for some reason, he's one of those composers that it's kind of, they're in short supply. So when you find a box set which is in really good condition with a very good conductor, Zell was very famous because he conducted and became famous with the Cleveland Orchestra, turned him into a top-notch, not only American symphony orchestra, but international orchestra. Yeah, the Dvorak. I love Dvorak. Dvorak, Czech composer. His Te Deum is a really awesome piece. I'm trying to find it on vinyl. I'm searching high and low for that. I can go through Discogs or some other, but I'm too lazy. Maybe I will one day. There's nothing like the thrill of actually going to a store, and browsing and finding the thing that you hopefully want to find because it's in your noggin. Tadeum, Dvorak, it's there. And if I were to see a copy, and if it's in good condition, I would get it, unless it was really, really expensive. Anyway, Zell is very well known. A lot of people love his work, love his conducting. I'm not a big fan. I've given him a chance. I think he's good. Many think he's great. I don't think he's great, but I'm looking forward to, I hope he changes my mind with this. Zell has a wide, how should I say, repertoire of composers he conducts. He's a great musician. He's been, he had quite a history of conducting, especially with the Cleveland Orchestra. So I'm looking forward to hearing these. Hopefully they're going to be top notch. This is on Columbia Records, Columbia Stereo. They're usually very, very top notch. And the other one I forgot to mention with Ozawa was RCA always, Red Seal, right over there in the corner, and they always have high quality stuff too. So those are those two. Now I got $1. Now we're getting somewhere. $1 purchase here, and this is the Trojans or Les Troyens Berlioz right here. Scenes by the great Regine Crespin. I think she is a soprano, I believe. Paris Opera Orchestra and Chorus, conducted by Georges Pretre, maybe that's how you say it. I hope I'm not butchering French, but I love sometimes the covers, and I love these vinyl covers. Sometimes they're so eye-catching, and they'll do the trick. And I have this. I have the full one, not the full, but I don't think by this gentleman. But I'm looking forward to hearing it. I know the piece. I haven't heard it in its entirety, but gosh, look how beautiful this cover is. I do like Berlioz, so I'm looking forward to listening to this. This was $1 purchase on Seraphim, and I think Seraphim is a what do you call it, of EMI? I don't know, like a sister or like an offshoot of EMI Records, I believe. I might be wrong. Oh, it is EMI. I was right. See, BAZ can sometimes be right, ladies and gentlemen. We're almost there. This is my haul, my classical music haul. I'm sharing my the ins and outs of it. This one is Mozart and Haydn on Vox, which sometimes great recordings. Sometimes I got some really scratchy ones. This one doesn't have a sleeve inside the sleeve. It just comes straight, but it looked to be in decent condition, especially after I clean it and all that before I play it. Spray it with all the stuff and wipe it down with the brush and all that. Hopefully it'll sound okay. This is the NWDR Orchestra, Hamburg. Sometimes, you hear of these type, I guess before the wall came down, the Berlin Wall, and, communism, supposedly, the end of communism, East Germany had some of the best orchestras in the world. And this gentleman, Leopold Ludwig, that's why I got this one. Now, I have so many Mozarts and Haydns. This one really didn't jump out at me until I saw Leopold Ludwig. And why Leopold Ludwig? Because I have one of his recordings of Mahler's Ninth, which is one of my Desert Island. And he really, to get him on vinyl, especially a good one, especially with some interesting music, like, of course, the famous Jupiter 41st by Mozart, and also the Haydn number 94. They're both famous symphonies. More on the lighter end, very classical, romantic type of music, traditional. But I can't wait to hear what Mr. Ludwig did. So this is it. Those were my, that was my haul. I had a few more in my hand, but I said, nah, let me not spend. I've really collected quite a few, probably hundreds now. I haven't counted, but I would say Easily over 1,000 albums in the last 3 years. I've, the only way I could do that was because of the deals they had. Some stores I would go in and have 30 classical music albums in my hand for like $20. I mean, really, $25. Some of these stores you buy 3 for $1 a piece, you get the fourth one free. So if every 3 you buy, you get the fourth. So I would go in there and buy like 15. You work out the math, whatever that is. Where I would always work out 3 and then 1 free. So like maybe 12, and I would spend $9, and I have 12 albums. And that's how I kind of grew my collection, my album collection, my vinyl album. I don't go out as much. That's why this one, it's been a while. It's been a few weeks before I purchased more classical, because I have so much to listen to. I have a pretty awesome collection that I've been, and like I probably haven't listened to 80% of them. So, but as a collector, you just go and collect, and one day you hope to get to them. Like for these, I'll probably go home and want to listen to maybe the Dvorak or the Ludwig. All of them are appealing to me, but life intervenes, things happen. Anyway, that was my classical music haul, a peek inside one of my classical music halls. Hope you enjoyed it. Look at that. Look at that finger. Take care. Tasty.